Hail, Throg, king of trolls. You venture far from your natural lair. These lands are rich with meat and war. Feast upon them, grow in strength and number, to bring ruin beyond. To the east, the icy mountains harbor the dwarfs of Krakadrag. They mine great treasures for themselves. But all of this can be yours for the taking, or for the gods. To the south, Kislev. These men of the bear dare to rule your kingdom. Let them feel the power of the monstrous horde. Destroy Erengrad and reclaim your rightful throne in Troll country. Beyond Kislev lies the Empire. Its bickering states of power are ripe with treasures. Take from these soft southern lands and establish new ports on their shores from which you can raid further. Across the Sea of Claws, a would-be challenger lies in wait aboard his precious ship. Devour him and do as you wish with his marauding warriors. Throg, you are the Wintertooth, cunning and all-powerful. Let the realms of man suffer in horror and pain as your monstrous horde lays waste to all.
Hello, MonstersAbound here, and welcome to Total War Warhammer 2 Mortal Empires and a brand new campaign as Wintertooth, and of course their legendary lord. He's a big old unit. He's mean and he's blue. It's Throg, the Troll King. There he is.
I eat my enemies.
Yeah, no, I didn't vote for him either. Of course, Throg leads one of the Norska factions, and the Norscan people get a bad rap in Total War because in Total War they're all about, as you would expect, total war. Whereas actually, in the lore, while the Norskans do, you know, raid, murder and burn the civilized peoples of the south, they also fight each other almost as much. Probably just as much, maybe even more, and fight as mercenaries more often than not. The Norse are fantastic sailors, and Norscan traders sell their wares throughout Bretonnia and the Empire. You can find them in Altdorf, in Marienburg, in all the coastal towns. They will sell across all of them. Different tribes have different sort of relationships with the peoples of the south. But when the Chaos Gods, their gods, of course, the Raven, who do we have here? The Raven, the Snake, the Wolf, the other one, all of those guys. When the Chaos Gods call upon them, the Norsca will empty, and the Norskans will then sweep southward with the hordes of chaos and destroy all before them. But you can't really blame them. I mean, the Chaos Gods actually go around doing shit. I mean, sure, most of the time it's turning, you know, great Auntie Gertrude into something with several more tentacles than is seemly, but it certainly makes it very hard not to believe in the Chaos Gods. Also, it's really cold up north, and it's just like a night out in Cardiff. The weak will die from exposure long before they're willing to pay the £1.50 charge for the cloakroom and take a coat with them. It's all very well and good playing goody two-shoes when you can get away with wearing shorts, but in Norsca, nipples that can cut glass are standard. Norsca being so close to the northern warp gates, and so the Chaos Waste itself, which you can find just over here. So these are the Chaos Waste. So being so close to the Chaos Waste itself, it means that Norsca is rife with mutation. It's not surprising that if the cold doesn't get you, something which has more teeth than really should have probably will. Trolls, giant wolves, Fimir, and all manner of beasts roam the lands, and the biggest and most monstrous of them is, of course, exactly, Throg down there. The self-proclaimed Troll King. Self-proclaimed because he's smart enough to actually do it. Trolls are not the world's most dedicated thinkers. Throg is a mutation on the average troll. Most mutations generally just give things tentacles or teeth. Or tentacles with teeth. Because while the Chaos Gods are supposed to be random in bequeathing their gifts, in the end, it tends to come down to tentacles and teeth. You can't beat the classics, I guess. Throg, however, has gained significant intelligence, and while Total War has him roaring and a bit guttural, in the books and lore he sounds a bit more refined. Despite this, Creative Assembly do pass everything by Games Workshop, so if Throg sounds like this, then Games Workshop were okay with it, and so you can't really complain. Throg, then, is large, brutish, savage, but with a Machiavellian cunning. a rather worrying combination, mostly let down by his subjects, who are of course trolls. While they might do their best, they are more likely to gently drool in their own feet while staring into distance than follow any type of order. But Throg has had some success in leading them against isolated settlements in Kislev in the south. Generally, he sort of lives in troll country, which is around here. During the end times, Throg joined up with Sigvald in the unlikeliest team since the Odd Couple. They got on like a house on fire, and if you've ever been inside a house on fire, you'll know what that looks like. In the end, Sigvald died, and Throg recognised Sigvald's passing by pissing all over the corpse. Fair play. I mean, that's pretty much what I'd do. Throg then kicked the shit out of Arkan the Black before dying to Nagash himself, so he may have gone down, but he gave a pretty good showing of himself. You have to give him that. So let's get rid of this. Okay, can you piss off, please? Okay, yeah, okay. We've got how they play. So we've got allegiance to gods. So we have 4 different gods we have to build our allegiance to. You get allegiance by burning other people's shit down. Fair enough. And we've got the monstrous Arcanum, so we can go on little hunting trips, which is nice. So we need to get some tech first, then we'll get some hunting trips. Tribal Confederation, if we beat up an enemy lord in combat, then we can instantly confederate with their tribe. You get other options, but to be honest, I don't know why you'd ever pick another option. And then Marauder Outposts. So while we can only get proper settlements in Norska, we can... Major coastal settlements we can actually turn into fully fledged Norscan settlements and actually kind of like build into recruitment centres. So while we might maybe travelling far and wide, we always, we'll always have a port to call home, which is very nice. Now let's have a look at Throg.
Harsh and desolate wastes of Norska embrace you into its cold.
Right, yeah, I get it. Okay, off you go. Go back in your box. Get the idea. We need to attain level 1 allegiance with any gods. So we have 4 gods. Got the Serpent, it's Slanesh. We got the Crow. That, of course, is Nurgle. We've got the Hound, that's Khorne. And then we've got the Eagle, that's Zinch. Now, last time, I've done a Throg campaign before, and last time we went for Zinch, didn't we? Because we wanted the Lord of Change. Now, unfortunately, the Lord of Change is, I'm going to be honest, a bit shit. So, I'm thinking, I feel like Khorne is probably the best option. Slanesh is probably a close second. Nurgle is a bit rubbish. The Plague... So basically, you get... At each rank, you get a different ability. So at rank 3, you get the ultimate ability. So Slanesh gets a Chaos Sorcerer to join... I think he's a Metal Sorcerer? Citation needed. So special character to fight for us, Lord Recruit rank and upkeep. So upkeep is quite nice, right? So we can get the upkeep quite early. That's for 0.30. Nurgle, again, has quite a nice first rank. Casualty replenishment rate plus 20%. Really, really nice. The Hound has weapon strength for melee infantry units. That's not going to be massively useful for us to start off with. But unit experience plus 100 all armies. And then finally, you get a unique Hell Cannon unit, which is quite nice. So that's an option. The Eagle, you do get the Lord of Change, but the Lord of Change, while fun, he doesn't have any skill points. So he's really not that much... Yeah, he's just not very good. I mean, the research rate and magic, Winds of Magic is quite nice, but the Lord of Change is a bit meh. And the Plague that Nurgle gets is, I'm going to be honest, used it once, didn't really feel it was worth it. Very rarely do your characters get wounded. So let me know in the comments which Chaos God we should go for. Who should we worship? We can play around. We can play the field. We don't have to reach for any particular Chaos God just yet. We can, we can hedge our bets for a bit. But eventually we are going to have to go... we're going to have to go steady with one of the Chaos Gods. So let me know what you think we should do. So we've got our first mission, which is to attain level 1 allegiance. Fair enough, we can do that. Now, Throg. So, Throg, all of his armies get physical resistance plus 50% for Norscan trolls and Norscan ice trolls, and upkeep reduction for those same units. So, very, very nice. You can't go wrong with that. So, climates we like, temperate, wasteland, but to be honest, I don't think it actually has any effect on us. I don't think it actually matters which terrain we settle on. Not entirely sure. Haven't played Norska in quite a while. Throg himself, exactly, is a monstrous ruler, so he gets a siege attacker. That means he can attack walled settlements immediately. He gets public order +1 because, let's face it, he's probably shouting at everyone and eating anyone who doesn't do what he says. All units in Throg's army are immune to all attrition, not bad, and increases chaos corruption in the region he's in, which is fairly useful. We can have a look at his skills. So he gets the Wintertooth Crown, which gives him more melee attack, more melee defense, and ward save, better chance of intercepting, more chaos corruption, and also makes everyone around him unbreakable for some time, which is quite good. Otherwise, his skills are fairly straightforward. You've got King of Trolls here, so that's going to give you more upkeep reduction. It's going to give you upkeep reduction for Norse controlled, so another 10%, and for Fimir warriors. We're also going to get casualty replenishment rate and missile resistance for those same units, which is quite nice actually. You can do any, monstrous fiends there, so more stats for Fimir warriors. Frostworm. So basically, we're going to go all monsters with Throg. That's what we're going to do. These look at these puny humans with their puny arms and puny legs and pink skin. Ugh, rubbish. So now we've got some. Right, the main problem with Throg, I find, is that we start off right next to the dwarves. Now the dwarves obviously have quite a few heavily armored units, which we don't really have an answer for. So first off, we're going to try heading this way. What we can do is maybe recruit some more marauders. So we start off with a minor settlement, which isn't the best. Norscan settlements are fine, but not the easiest to. Well, they're okay, but they're never going to make a huge amount of money. You need a lot of them, and they can't build walls, so you're always going to have to defend it. They're not too bad to actually rebuild. All the buildings are quite cheap, so you can generally kind of get away with it. I quite like the javelins, so let's get a couple of those. I'm also going to get a spear just in case. Now, the Aisling Conclave here, if we can kill their leader, we can confederate with them and get both of these settlements. The other thing is the Aisling Conclave starts with a Frostworm. So if we can get the Frostworm, we're quids in. What do we want? Monster hunting. That's not the worst idea, but more tools, sea marauders. I do like campaign movement range. Let's go sea marauders tools. Whether fighting at sea or on land, the longship marauders are the most seasoned veterans of the Norse tribes. Good. Let's do that. Now, some people are probably wondering, why didn't you play? You've played Throg before. Why didn't you play Wulfric? I'm playing Throg because, one, Throg is a giant monster with a bloody great sledgehammer, and two, he can throw up on people. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and travel the world and throw up on as many people as possible. We're going to throw up on Alariel. We're going to vomit on Orion. We're going to cover Carl in sick. We're just going to basically go around and vomit on people. That's the plan. And also, Wulfric, I mean, what can Wulfric... He's a puny little man thing, and all he can do is throw a boat at people. Rubbish. Throwing boats, that's so last year. It's all about the stomach acids these days. You mark my words. You mark my words. Right. Okay, we've got 995. I'm going to grab... let's do something like that. I'm going to keep recruiting for the moment. I want to try and take Aisling Conclave. Sometimes he comes down this way. Sometimes he doesn't. Basically, the start of any Norscan campaign is more luck than anything else, because if you end up being able to club an enemy chieftain to the ground quite quickly, then you're pretty much quids in. Sometimes, like, you can... If someone has... I once had Wulfric confederate most of Norsca, then I wasn't at war with him. He ended up right next to Throg. So I declared war on him and clubbed him to death and confederated the whole of Norsca by myself. Easy win. And it's things at Norsca can move fast. So we just got to keep, wits about us. Now, the Acelings will have that Frostworm, and I want that Frostworm.
I eat my enemies.
I want that Frostworm. So, let's...
No.
Okay, there's Lamandar. We might be able to hit him, but what's this garrison like? Okay, it's not too bad.
Lord of the monster horde.
I think we can do this. It's ballsy, but I think we can do it. What we could do... Boring. Yeah. Engram of the Kurgan. You sound about right. That's right. What we're going to do is we're going to lay an ambush here. We're going to move this guy over here, and then we're going to see if we can lure Larmont out to play. That's what I'm thinking. If he sees one guy by himself, he might go for him. And if we can lure him away from his... Because I reckon he's going to recruit more units this turn. And that could put me at a disadvantage. So if we can lure him into an ambush, all the better. And we need to make sure that, one, we don't intercept him in march stance. Oh, no, he's coming for me. Holy shit. He's coming for me. He thinks he can take me. So he got the Frostworm. He's got slightly less units than I have, but he thinks he's got this. I disagree. I think I've got this. First battle of the campaign always has that new campaign smell. Oh, it's minty, fresh, potentially. I'm not sure. So, they've got a Frostworm. I want this Frostworm. This Frostworm belongs to me. And I'm going to catch them all. Especially this thing, because he's great. So we definitely want to grab him. Here is the Marauder Chieftain. We're fighting against Larmont Dahl. Like Roald Dahl, but less child-friendly. And his Throg himself... There he is. He's great. He's even got teeth on his belly. Such is the Chaos Gods. No tentacles, though, as far as I can see. But we don't know what's under his loincloth, so, you know, there's always that. Over in the forest, we've got our Frost Wolves. I like the Frost Wolves. They are quite a good unit. I do like them. And, of course, the Warhounds. So they're hiding in the forest because I want them to hit the enemy Javelins, because Javelins are quite nasty, but also quite fun. So Throg's going to pull back a little bit because I know he doesn't want to get turned into a shish kebab, ideally. Now, plan is we send in our infantry, and then the trolls move around the flank and deal with some of the units on the flank there. We're also going to use our Marauder Hunters to take out the Frostworm. Frostworm gets a nice little shot there, but misses most of us. I say most of us. Obviously, some lose their arms, but Javelins now coming in from all directions. He's going to charge into the trolls. That's kind of okay. I'm all right with that. So we're just going to pin him down, and then we're going to hit him with all the Javelins. That's key. Lots of Javelins. That's it. That's what we want. That's good stuff. Look at that. His health going down so quickly there. More Javelins coming in. Oh, he's getting... Right, we don't want to kill him. He's running away, and we're going to stop firing and just let him do stuff. While that's going on, Throg is kicking the shit out of Dahl. Dahl does not have a chance. Look at this. It's just no chance, really, is there? Dahl's decided he's had enough. He's running off. He's legging it. And just to make sure that we get this campaign right off to you know, step in the right direction, we're going to throw up all over Dahl. There we go. And then the Javelins are going to fill in full of Javelins, because that's fine. That's what we're going to do. Throw away, boys. That's right. Perfect. Love the Javelins. Meanwhile, our Norscan Warhounds have been driven off, but the Ice Wolves have done the business. They have managed to pull down these Hunters. That's pretty good. We're going to target our Javelins against our Javelins. Take down the Trolls, have hit the enemy flank, and are now slowly cleaning up. But our infantry, because they're puny pink humans, have broke and run. Look at them go, jerks. Come back here and do your job. Throg's having to hold up the entire flank, which, thankfully, he can. No problem. Kaboom! That someone's arm came off. That happens. Meanwhile, the Javelins have spotted that this is why you don't want to show your unprotected flank to Javelins, because you end up getting a lot of very sharp, pointy sticks buried in your head. This guy knows what I'm talking about. And that's why Javelins are pretty legit, and you should always have some in every army. The Trolls then chasing down the last few fleeing defenders. We've won this fight pretty easily. We're going to get Throg, maybe just do a little more throw-a-yuppie, just for funsies, because, you know, it's, you know, why not? Good stuff. So we defeated Lamont, because he was rubbish. Could take replenishment, could sacrifice. I kind of want the money. Ooh, a razor standard. That is quite nice. I'm going to give that to the my Norscan. You know, I quite like the Norscan Ice Wolves. I just kind of like them. Could sacrifice, could get more experience, could just... Let's enslave, because I feel like the sooner we can be moving, the better. But we have defeated Lamont. So, at the beginning of our turn, we'll get this option. So the leader of the Naglafaring's tribe has been defeated. A once powerful warrior now reduced to obscurity beneath your might. For as you stand tall in victory, he kneels at your side, hands in chains. His followers stood amongst yours, brought to a halt in anticipation for your next utterance. His men now see him as weak and unfit to lead any longer. There's a chance for you to take control of this faction's forces and land, as well as its followers' dubious loyalty. Though, while the allure of land may appear to make this choice a simple one, do not let the challenges that our large empire creates escape you. Perhaps simply killing this man and letting whatever is left of his faction fade into memory may be a more fitting end. No, I'm gonna... I mean, you can execute him, makes him dead and pisses off the faction. You can release him, which makes them like you more. I mean, I guess if you were going for maybe like trying to get them as a military alliance, potentially that could be an option. But, okay. I'm going to take his lands. So, we've now got the entire province under our control, which is quite nice. And also, because we didn't kill the Frostworm, we've got Frosty the Frostworm. So let's get Frosty the Frostworm. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take the Marauders with great weapons. I kind of like... You know what? I'm just going to take your entire army. And Lamont. Are you anything special? There's the gods, versus Plague of the Crow, Drinker of Blood. Right, so yeah, you get... So these are all mutually exclusive, so you can pick one tree, and again, it's like Khorne, Slanesh, Nurgle, or Zinch. And this guy is not a special character, so there are some special... He's got a disfiguring scar as well. There are some special... Okay, we'll just get rid of him. Oh, it's too expensive. I don't need the spear boys, do I? Let's just merge them and get rid of the weaker ones. Let's do something like that. Right, get rid of you. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. I mean, it's not the worst. Throg leveled up as well. That's good. That's nice to see. I'm tempted. I mean, more melee attack and charge bonus for the Frostworm. Melee defense, sorry, for the Frostworm would be quite nice. Melee attack for... I mean... Trolls are our best unit. So... Doing that is going to make our trolls even more betterer. Which is good. Now, we're not at war with any of the other Norscan factions, so sometimes it pays off to just keep an eye on them and see what they do. Oh, we can get rid of you as well. We don't need you. And hopefully that will... Okay, that's going to save us a little bit of money. Okay, good. That's fine, because obviously we had increased percentage upkeep for having those lords. We've got rid of them, so that's dropped. So now actually we've kind of got a good, stable army. That Frostworm costs us quite a bit. However, it's incredibly useful, so we're going to keep it. Excellent. Now, I think Wulfric's got like a mammoth in his army or something. So, is it Sutharik has a mammoth. Someone's got a mammoth, so if we can like try and keep that intact, that'll be quite nice. So, okay, building wise. In the main settlement, I'm thinking maybe we want to get the... Oh, we don't have anything at rank 3 yet, do we? Let's knock down that. Because I think the Raiders camp... I'm not really going to have that many... I can pop you in there. That's probably... Because, of course, in 3 Kingdoms, if you march, you don't get the replenishment. In Warhammer 2, you do. So it's just a bit of a gear shift trying to work out what does what. So let's get the Copulent Sails, where the Marauder's eagerness for despoilment is nurtured. Vast distances can be covered between raids. Lovely. Good stuff there. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye out on the Varg. Of course, I kept calling these guys the Acelings. They're not. They're the Naglaf. Oh, they were the... It doesn't matter now. They're all dead. Oh no, they joined me. They're now Team Throg. And Larmandal got covered in sick. That's a bit of a win. Now he's not a legendary lord, so I'm not going to like mark. But you know that is kind of a like one. It's kind of one tick. We'll give him. I'll give myself one tick for throwing up all over Larmandal. And I mean the vomit doesn't do much damage to single units, to be fair. But it's not really about the damage. It's about sending a message, and that message is sort of a type noise, followed by sizzling. Now, I'm hoping maybe that these guys, I can't remember if they're called, who are they? I'm hoping these guys maybe can take on the dwarves, or at least keep them busy. Who are they? Goramadni tribes, there we go, that's them. So we could maybe do some raiding over here. I mean, we could just like hop over. And we could do some raiding, because that's going to upkeep. Yeah, so we get 20% reduction in upkeep. We get some money as well. So basically, that's a good way of making some cash for us. And then we can do things like upgrade our warband cap and potentially do something like. I mean, more growth would be nice, wouldn't it? But this would just generate some income, and I feel like generating income at this moment in time is what we need to do, because income means more boys. I mean, obviously, as soon as we get to rank 3, we need to get some more trolls. We need a big beastly army. We need Vermeer. We need frostworms. We need trolls. We need all that good monstrous stuff in Throg's army, so that he can march around the world, throwing up over everyone, as is tradition. The tradition I just made up. Okay, so no sign of... Now, public order should be... Oh, it's bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I need some public order. It's probably fine. Oh, hello. Hang on. Are you Throgg? Did you march? Okay. You are there. Right, so tribesmen, gather. Throgg is, of course, the Lord of the Varg, and he is a special lord. He gets, I think you can get a special trait. Basically, he's known for all of his chariots. Basically, he's a bit of a meme about his how many chariots he has, because he used to run around in just stacks of chariots. And so now there's a special trait he can pick up if he defeats Cetra, who of course has his own chariot. Which I think gives you extra damage to your chariots or something. So it would be quite fun to see if we could get Throgg down to see if Cetra's still alive. So we might try and do that. That could be quite fun. Now, he does have a big old... He does have a war mammoth.
Battle time is feeding time.
Oh, you know what? We need to replenish, don't we? Let's... I know it was Throg. I know. Let's actually run out of their territory and heal up a little bit more. Public order is pretty bad. Need to do something about that. Before it rebels, ideally, get some... Yeah, we might need to build a public order building sooner rather than later. Okay, so we've got first dash. We've got a little bit more money coming in. Now, Throgg he's run away. What I'm tempted to do is declare war on him, hit this settlement, and then run away. It's not a big garrison. We could do that. We could hit this. Now, what I'm... Okay, so here's my thinking, right? You're back in 2 turns, so we hit this, get, and then right. This is what we're going to do. Right, okay. So we're going to declare war on the Varg. I'm going to hit the silent encampment. I'm going to auto-resolve that because I think that should be fairly straightforward. That's fine. I'm going to sack it. So we got a Kurgan chieftain. The Kurgan are a tribe that could end all others. Such are their numbers. Best keep this chieftain as an ally. Fair enough. We're going to bring you back. So that's going to help us level up, which is useful. Because obviously, you know, higher rank Throg is the better. Could give Frostworms more melee defense. What's your melee defense? It's currently 40. That's not the worst. Could be better. Let's give you Root Marcher so you can move a bit faster.
I see death.
Exactly. Then, do we get some Marauders? Let's get a Marauder. Then I'm going to see if we can lure in... How much will upgrading this cost? 1,600. Is that going to be okay? I need some... Right, so we're going to... I think we can lure him in. So we're going to lure in Suthaik. We're going to recruit another Lord. The Lord is going to stand around here. We're going to try and ambush him. And we're then going... Because what I want is Suthaik's Mammoth. Ideally. That's the key. I want his Mammoth. I mean, I'm not sure if I can afford it. But I feel like a Mammoth and a Frostworm puts me in pretty good stead for the early game. Plus, if we can defeat Suthaik, then we'll have a huge tracts of land. And that'll be quite good. Although we could probably do with raiding a little bit more. Because I kind of need the money to build up my infrastructure. So that could be a thing. Also, my public order's trash. So, you know, lots of issues. But also, lots of potentially throwing up on people. So, swings and roundabouts. But we're going to have to see that next time. So thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Throg campaign.